So I'm gonna change my ostomy bag today. It would not normally be a bag change for me. I changed it 2 days ago. Usually I go like 3 to 5 days, but it's kind of itching, and usually when that happens, there are a couple things that could be going on. It could be a start of a leak, or it could be just my skin is irritated, and I just would rather be safe than sorry, and I like to change it when that's happening. I hardly ever get leaks, I think partially because I am so proactive. Whenever I start to feel itching or discomfort, I change it because I don't want to risk anything. Also, my husband is mowing the lawn outside, and we have a window behind the shower, so if you hear it, I am sorry. I'm going to start by cutting my wafer. I know generally how big I need to cut it, and usually it's about at this 38 mark right here, so I don't measure my stoma. I've been doing it long enough that I generally know the size, and it is pretty much right at that 38 mark, so I just cut around on that line. So now that I have this hole cut, I also use these Brava protective sheets. I've done other videos on these. I swear by them. I always wear them under my wafer because it is one reason I think I hardly ever have leaks, is because these are so reliable, they're so sticky, and I just always use them for extra reassurance. I can't be dealing or worrying about leaks. So this is what it looks like. I am going to place my wafer over it, and then I'll set it down and I kind of trace it and indent with my scissors to make sure the hole is the same size. And then I will fold it and cut out the circle. So I'll show you that in a second after I trace it. So you can see that I've made a circle. Now I'm gonna fold it like this, and I'm going to cut and start cutting out the circle so that my hole is the same size and will fit over my stoma. And now it looks like this, and we have 2 holes that are pretty much the same size. So I'm going to now get a little trash bag. What I usually do is put it under my bag, and then I'll tuck it in my pants so that it's there to catch anything. Next, I use this adhesive remover spray to spray and remove my bag. I pretty much need this spray with how sticky the protective sheets are. You can use adhesive remover wipes, but for this it takes forever, so I just like to use the spray. So you can kind of see I'm just spraying here, and then I'm using a baby wipe to kind of pull it and remove it as I go. It takes a little bit of time with these protective sheets because they are so sticky. If I weren't to use them, I could probably get this done in like 1 to 2 minutes, but it takes me a little bit longer because I do like these. I like the security of them, and I like how my skin isn't irritated by them. Some adhesives my skin reacts to, and it causes like a really bad rash. These, my skin doesn't react to at all, so I love using them as an extra safeguard to protect my skin from anything. And if my skin is irritated, the material of these protective sheets is like a hydrocolloid, so it basically aids in skin healing. So I'm looking, I don't have any sort of leak or anything, so I guess my skin was just a little bit irritated for whatever reason. It doesn't even look really red or anything. Sometimes it just kind of happens, like if you sweat a little bit under your stoma, or if there's an area around your stoma that isn't covered by any of your barriers, it can kind of get, the liquid on it, and it kind of irritates the skin. Right now it looks okay. I am not going to show you my stoma. I know there are some people that do. There are plenty of people that are all about educating, and they want to show people their stomas for educational reasons. For me, I feel like I wouldn't show you my other hole if I still had it, like where stuff comes out in your rear end. So why would I show you this one? Like, what people want to do is their own business, and that's totally cool. I am totally cool with whatever you want to do. For me personally, I am not at the point where I want to show people my stoma. I just don't. It looks like any other stoma. If you've seen someone else's, that's probably pretty much what mine looks like too. So I finished removing my bag. You can see the skin around it is like a little bit wider than the rest of my skin because it's kind of like a tan line. Like this skin never gets exposed to the sun, so it's gonna be whiter. I'm gonna finish cleaning off my skin because the protective sheets leave some sticky like adhesive stuff. So I use these adhesive remover wipes, and I always pre-open them so I can do it fast if my stoma is being active. And I just kind of wipe around the skin and get all the extra residual stickiness of anything off. It will make sure that your skin doesn't get irritated by any leftover adhesive because you don't want that to happen. All right, so I finished cleaning the area around my stoma. I replaced the garbage bag with just a tissue just to keep anything off of my pants. I do use this powder. It is a nystatin powder, which is technically like antifungal because I had fungal issues in the past. Now I use it as more of like a preventative, so it's just a powder I put on around it. And then I will show you afterwards what I put on top of the powder. So I just kind of shake the powder so that it gets around, and then I use a tissue and I brush off excess powder. I have a trash can under me just in case, and I brush off the excess so that the bag will stick, because if you have too much powder on there, the bag is not going to stick and you don't want that. So I'm just kind of brushing off the extra, but making sure there's still a thin layer on there. So now that I've brushed off the excess powder, I'm going to do something that is called the crusting method. So it kind of makes sure that there is a layer between your skin and your wafer or my protective sheet just to prevent any irritation. It's like an extra layer. So I have the powder, and then I have this skin barrier wipe. You can see it says film. It's going to leave kind of a film. When I put it over the powder, it dries it and creates this kind of like crust almost. So that's going to add a little bit of extra protection between my skin and my wafer. Now I just take the wipe and I kind of dab it on. I don't wipe it because that's going to wipe your powder off. So I just kind of dab it a little bit. I waited about a minute or so for that wipe to dry. And now I am going to apply this barrier ring. So this is going to go around my stoma first. I put this on before I put on my protective sheet. Sometimes I like to warm it in my hands a little bit before I take the backing off, just because it sticks a lot better when it's warm, and that's kind of what activates it to stick to your body is body heat. So it is very sticky, and this kind of adds an extra layer of protection. So you think about like a gasket around a pipe, like a seal to prevent leaks. This is kind of like what that is. So I peel the back off. I am going to move over slightly so you can't see my stoma, and I am going to put it around. So you can see I just put it over my stoma and I kind of push it down to make sure the seal is really good and my body warms it up to cause it to stick better. And then after that, this part I usually try to be quick about in case my stoma starts waking up a little bit. But I did eat a marshmallow about 20 minutes before starting this. That usually like slows things down and stops your stoma for a little while. It doesn't always work, but generally for me, I have pretty good luck with it. So I just took the backing off the protective sheet. It looks like this. It's kind of like a rubbery like material. And I'm going to put this on and then I will show you. Okay, so I stuck it on. I smooth it down and make sure it sticks all over and sticks to the ring that's underneath. So I just kind of use my body heat. You can also use a hair dryer. That works really well with making sure the seal is good, and that's going to activate it even better. But I just kind of like rub it with my fingers usually, and that's pretty much enough to make sure it sticks down. So once that's on, I'm then going to use my wafer. So I peel the back off. I'm gonna put this on right over that. So I just put it on over that, and then I stick it down. This one has these little like layers of tape on some of the edges. So I peel that off. It's like a Band-Aid. Then I stick that part down. And then I do that on the bottom part. Peel it off. Stick it down. Make sure it's all flat, smooth, and stuck. Make sure I get the middle part too. I kind of push that down a little bit. And then it is time for my bag. So it has a circle. Basically, it just clicks onto the plastic circle that's on here. It clicks on. I'll show you, and you will hear a little click. You'll also hear my husband using the weed whacker in the backyard. So I'm sorry about that sound, but of course it's not gonna click right now. There you go. Did you hear that? So that clicked on. Now, the bottom is open. Make sure you remember that. Some people close the bottom first just so they don't forget. But what I usually do is, once I got that on, I crease the bottom of my bag so it opens this way, but I crease it like this because it helps it open easier. Otherwise, like your first time emptying, when you unravel it, it's gonna be stuck and it's gonna be really hard to open. So I crease it, and that makes sure that it opens really easily. So the last thing I do is I put this ostomy deodorant in my bag. This one is my favorite, although the top leaks so you can see the blue all over it because it is blue colored. But I just pour some of this in my bag and then close it up, and that makes it so nothing smells. It's amazing the things they come up with. And then I fold it up, close it. It's like a Velcro seal. And ta-da, we are done. I do always wear a cover on my bag because this bottom part is kind of sharp, and where my stoma is located, it like digs into my leg. So I always wear a cover. I think today we will wear our Grinch cover in honor of the holiday season. So I am just gonna put my little cover on. Tuck it in. Make sure the back is good. This is where you open it to empty. Like you pull out the bottom of the back, and that's in the back. And we are all good to go. That is it. If any of you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask away. I am an open book. I hope you have a great day.